Hello everyone, this is a repair of an iPad mini um, LCD screen. The digitizer is not working, so I'm going to be removing the cracked screen. And easy way to do this is just using a sock filled with rice and putting it into the microwave for about 3 minutes and putting it around the outside. And then using a little prying tool, you can go around the screen. Just don't pry in too deep because the LCD may be damaged. Then inserting playing cards around the outside I found is the safest method for removing the cracked screen. Just prying up on the outside after heating it up will enable you to insert the card on both the right and left hand side, and just go carefully and again just to the edge of that white strip around the iPad. Then you can insert your card and just go up and down. You don't have to worry about having the cables there because all the cables are behind the screen and there's no cables on the side here. The only cables that you will have are the home button down below, but the home button's attached to the screen. You can see you can start to pry up. And now I'm going to be doing the top. At the top, just be careful in the middle. There is the camera there. So I'm just going with a playing card up to the camera. And then later I'll be breaking off the small pieces after this is done. So I'm just going over, and depending on how cracked your screen is, it will determine on the size of the pieces that you can remove at once. So I have the top, and then it will fold kind of at the bottom. So I'm going to heat the bottom up and then pry up. There will be a ribbon cable on the bottom right hand side, and that's to go to the digitizer there. So we don't need this kind of screen anymore because it's all cracked, so I'm just cutting that off. There are 4 screws on that are holding the LCD down, and there's a little bit of tape over the screws, so you'll have to remove the tape and then remove the screws there. One of the screws is a little bit longer than the other, so just be careful about that one screw that you don't forget where it goes. With those screws removed, you can use a little plunger to lift up the LCD at the top, and using a playing card I felt was the best way. So just going down on the left hand side of the LCD and going slowly so that you don't break the screen. And you will be doing this as well on the other side of the screen. Again, just go to the bottom and on to the right as well. Just go slow, and this will make it so that the screen can lift up. After we have done that, there's a little bit of tape on the bottom. So I'm just peeling that back with my tweezers. There's a little bit of tape on the left hand side, and there's also other piece of tape on the right hand side as well. It has a little rolled up piece there. I'm just removing that and then removing the tape at the bottom here. With the tape removed, the screen should move quite freely, and you shouldn't force it. So then it can fold up like a book and it'll go straight up. Don't remove it yet because there's a ribbon cable at the bottom. I'm using something to hold it up. It's about a little past 90 degrees. And now we can remove the about 6 screws on the little metal plate at the bottom. So after removing that plate, we have access to the battery connector and the LCD screen connector. So it has 3 screws. Again, the screws are different sizes, so remember where those screws go. With those screws removed, we can remove the little plate, and then using a little plunger, we can remove the battery connector. Remove the battery connector first, then the LCD screen is the next one, and then the third one is the digitizer, the touch screen. So with those cables removed, I can remove the old touchscreen sensor there, just using the plunger. It's a little bit glued on, but it'll pop right off. With that removed, then going around the outside, just making sure that all the broken shards of glass are removed. I'm putting the double-sided tape on to the top and bottom. Don't do the sides until later. And don't remove the white tape yet until we have determined that everything is working. So with the tape, now I can put the new touchscreen on and connect that in. And then later we can put the LCD on. Just also rub that with a microfiber, make sure that there's no dirt on or dust on it. And then just pushing down that connector to get the LCD and then the battery to the right there. Then gently put down the LCD screen and then also the touch screen on top of that. We'll be testing to see that everything's working before we actually tape it down. So I turned it on and my battery is low, so it wasn't booting up fully. I had to charge it, but my touchscreen is working. Just make sure that all the buttons are working and the home button as well. After you've verified that everything's working, all we have to do is put it together, putting the plate, putting the screws on, put the LCD down again, and then put the 4 screws to fasten the LCD to the frame. Again, you use the microfiber cloth to clean the screen, make sure there's no dust particles on the screen. And now we can remove the double-sided tape so that the touchscreen will remain on. So just take the tape off the top and bottom. I also put a small strip. You can put the small strip on either side as well. And then we're putting down the touchscreen. Just make sure that everything is aligned, that the camera, just look down the hole, make sure that the camera can also be visible through the touchscreen. And there you have it. That's how to repair iPad Mini 2. I hope this was useful. Please like and subscribe if you're interested in more repair videos like this.